Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Brashira Kadzane and today is December 25th, 2020. So it is Christmas time. When I post this video, it was Christmas. So I want to wish everyone a happy Christmas, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Blessings and nothing but positivity all throughout 2021 because God knows 2020 was not it. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I made the ruffles on my blue plaid skirt that I do have posted on my Instagram. So if you haven't seen the outfit, it is on my Instagram. I'll go ahead and leave my Instagram information in the description down below. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to show you guys the tools and supplies that you'll need to make it. All right, guys. So put everything in like a little baggie. So bear with me here. You're obviously going to need some fabric. Okay, so I have some leftover remaining fabric. I try to keep everything organized, roll it up, and keep it separate from every other sewing tool that you will be using. You can definitely use measuring tape for this, and I'll explain why in a little bit. So measuring tape. You'll need some type of cardboard, something stiff, and I'll be showing you why as well. So this is what I chose for my little stiff little object that has some oomph to it. It's not too flimsy. And you have two options. A pair of scissors. Sorry, I don't have the super fancy ones, but I don't know, they be cutting. And you could use a rotary cutter. Now, if you're like OCD, super perfectionist, you would probably prefer the rotary cutter. And be careful because these things, nothing to play with. They are sharp. I even sliced my finger a few times. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. And I forgot one more thing. Of course, you need a sewing machine. So the sewing machine that I'm using is a Brother HC1850. I bought mine on Amazon for about $290 something, $280 something, somewhere around there. I wanted to show you guys really quickly before we start sewing the type of sewing machine that I have, because I get asked it pretty often. So this is the one that I have. I believe it comes with over 100 stitches. These are all of the stitches, including letters. So it's kind of cool, almost like embroidery in a way. And it came with a few extra tools and stuff, which is pretty cool. It's electronic, so nothing is really like manual in a sense. So now I have my fabric laid out. I was gonna use a piece that I already had pre-cut, but I did want to kind of show you guys this part. So it depends on how big you want your ruffles to be. So for me, I was thinking maybe this would be wide enough, but you have to remember that when we make these ruffles, we're gonna be folding it in half. We're gonna be folding that piece, that strap of fabric in half. So this is really how big your ruffles will be once it's cut straight across. So if this is a good size for you, then, you know, measure it out and get that cut. And then here I do have a pre-cut piece of fabric from when I was making my dress. So if this is the size that you want it to be, then when it's put in half, when it's put in half, this is how big your ruffles are going to come out. So I think I'm gonna use this piece of fabric because I feel like this is just, it's really perfect to me. So if you need help, let me measure it out for you. Let's see how long it is. How wide, I should say. Okay, so this looks like it's about 3.5 inches wide. Not long, but wide. So if this is the one you just want to follow with, for as an example, go ahead. It's 3.5 inches wide. And then for the length, when it comes to making your ruffles, you have to remember that it's all going to shrink down because we're going to be basically folding the fabric as we sew. So however long you want the ruffles to be, depending on what you're trying to make. If you're trying to make the dress that I made, you have to double the length of the strap. So I believe my measurements, I don't have it on me right now, but I believe it was like a 36, if I'm not mistaken, 36. I'm not too sure, don't quote me. But you always want to double it. So if your measurements are like 15 inches, make that 30 inches long. If your measurements are 5 inches, double it to 10 inches, because when you fold it down, you want it to fit perfectly to your size once the ruffles become folded. So now that we have this already cut, let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, so now that I have my little ruffle piece sewn together with a straight stitch, we're gonna go ahead and I sewed it together in half. Remember, it has to be folded in half because this right here is going to be the end of the ruffle, and this is what gives it that nice professional look. So let's go ahead and get out our either cardboard piece that you're using or something sturdy, something that has some strength to it, some durability to it. So I decided to go with this one because it's really pretty on the camera and I really like it. My favorite one of my favorite colors is pink. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that. Now it depends on how thick you want your ruffle to be. Now this is the length and width that I decided to go with. So I'm gonna need to cut it down so that it can match this size. So let's go ahead and get that cutted. Or cut. That was real unprofessional. So I have it cut and I'm just gonna place it on top of my ruffle here. And you can see there's that extra space. So I'm just gonna cut off any space that's remaining on it and I'll know for sure like it fits. All right, so this is how it looks now that it matches. You can see that it fits, like it is the same size as the ruffle. So now that it's the same size of the ruffle, I'm going to show you guys how to get the actual ruffle. Okay? Alright, so now what you're going to do is you're going to lay your little ruffle piece out flat. You're going to take your little cardboard piece, a tag, or whatever you decided to use. You're going to take this side and you're going to cover it up so that it matches length. We're gonna go ahead and take it over to the sewing machine. All right, sorry guys, it's kind of hard to sew and record at the same time. I'm gonna have to buy a tripod because what the heck, man. But anyways, yeah, so go ahead and use a zigzag stitch and go as slow as you need to. You don't have to rush at all. So I recommend not going so fast, especially if you're like a super beginner, because you don't want to go too far. You don't want to sew too far. So now that we have that sewn, can you see it okay, you guys? Okay, there we go. Now that you guys have that part sewn, you're going to stop where the fold is for this one ruffle that we have. You're going to lift your presser foot up. And you're gonna repeat the steps for your ruffle. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna repeat the steps for the ruffle, so I'll be back. All right, guys, so I had to be a little janky and use what I could, but you know what I'm saying? It's all good though, so I can really show you guys if it will focus a little bit. There we go. So again, I'm gonna take my little cardboard paper thing and I'm going to put it down where the last crease or the last fold is right here. I'm gonna go ahead and fold it under the presser foot You can pick up the needle, that would help. And I'm gonna put the presser foot down. I'm gonna take out my little cardboard piece. I'm gonna go ahead and zigzag stitch it again. And hold it down and go. And watch out for your hand, guys. You can stop right before you get to the next one. Pick up your presser foot, place it down, fold it underneath the presser foot. All right, and you can place it back down, you know, so that it's pressed, nice and pressed. You can readjust it if you need to. I needed to because this stupid thing I'm using is tugging on the fabric. And zigzag stitch again. And I'm just going to repeat this. So I'll see you guys after I am done repeating this. All right, so now that we finished the ruffles, you should have something that looks like this. And this is exactly why I was like, make sure you double the length that you're going for. So again, if you're looking for something for 15 inches, cut it at 30 inches. That way it'll bring the ruffles back down to the desired size. Because on that post, on my Instagram post, in that plaid dress, it was the right size, it was perfect, but I kind of left out some measurements. So lesson learned, I had to go back in and make some more ruffles and attach it, and it's just it would have been better if all the ruffles were just all together. So don't forget to double that. But other than that, I hope you guys are happy with the little ruffle that we made. This is the outside of it, the part that will be seen. So make sure you keep this part nice and clean and only sew on the sides with the straight stitch. So if you guys have any questions or concerns about the ruffle, if you still don't get it, I would just rewatch it, or you can message me on Instagram, leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel because I will be posting more. I'm gonna go ahead and post on my next video the plaid dress that I made. It's super easy as well. So yeah, I do want to thank you guys so much for watching, for following me, and just being true. But anyways, thank you guys so much. You guys have a great Christmas and a great happy new year. Manifest everything that you want in 2021.